Hi everyone, welcome to episode 12 of season 2 in the studio. And this is the final episode, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. We hope you've really enjoyed this screenwriting journey we've taken you on. We hope it's been useful, really do. Hopefully just, even as one of the tips, this series has been useful for you in your, whatever stage of your journey you're in. Last week's episode kind of rounded off the actual writing process for us. We've hopefully now taken your script through the basics, the planning, the dialogue, taking it from good to great, and you've now got a perfect script that you're abundantly happy with and ready to do something with. And I'm guessing you haven't just written it for the fun of it. You want someone to pick up this script and do something with it, or do it yourself. And I guess they're the two kind of options that I'm going to look at this week in particular. We've also got a couple of other guests who've got different options and different ideas of what you could do with your script. But I think myself and Sam as well would be remiss if we didn't kind of plug the avenue that we've always gone down and that JumpCut Studios kind of champions and encourages a lot. And that is just kind of putting yourself out there and just trying it, just doing things. So obviously, we're always happy to read scripts. We're always looking for new scripts to develop and work with people on. Just keep an eye on our Twitter and you're probably going to find a chance to send a script to someone, because we're always looking for that opportunity. And we know that a lot of other people are as well. There's always, call outs on Twitter from producers and directors looking for short scripts or other scripts to take a look at and maybe do something with. So definitely utilise social media as much as you can. Look out for people in the writing community who can, even just read your scripts. Reading a script is a big step for any writer. To get that script read is a huge step. So put yourself out there, send it to people, reply to tweets and messages, and just find the right people to send it to. That being said, it is important to make sure you're ready to send it to people. As I've said all series, and I'm sure everyone should know this really, is you don't want to send a script that's subpar or not ready to the wrong person. Obviously you're writing kind of peers and support network, send every script to and they should help you with that. But when you feel like that script is ready, check it again, make sure it is ready. Absolutely, because if you send to the wrong person at the wrong time, they'll probably remember that, and if that script isn't right, not necessarily what they're looking for, but the script just isn't ready to be sent to people, then they can remember that. And first impressions are important, obviously in life in general, but particularly in this industry as well. People remember things, unfortunately. So make sure the script's ready, pick the right people, and put yourself out there. Get it sent to people, get people reading it, and just forge those connections with peers, to be honest, is the best way to do things, I think. Find people who are at the same stage of their development as you are and who want to just do things and make things for the passion of it, and to make things with like-minded people is arguably the best part of this whole kind of creative sphere that we're part of. On the other side of that, if you were, a writer who wants to direct, you might not want someone to take over your script, then go down the route that I've always gone down myself, which is just do it yourself. Get out there, find a team and make it. Easier said than done, I know. And especially right now, obviously times are difficult, but once all this is over, hopefully, and we return back to whatever normal is now, there's going to be a lot of people dying to get out there and create things. So forge those connections now. Use this time where we probably can't go out and film anything, and network with the correct people. Share stories, share ideas, develop ideas with other people, and then when you can get out there again, you're going to have hopefully a team of people who are eager to get out there and make something with you, or you're going to have a team who want your stories and can take those away and do something with them.
Hi there, I'm Imi O'Hara and I'm one of the BFI Network Talent Executives for Film North. I'm based in Sheffield and my job is to develop and support talent in the region and that includes sort of funding and professional development opportunities. My background is quite mixed. I used to work in marketing and distribution at Film 4, then sort of marketing and acquisitions at a UK distributor called STX, before sort of happily and gratefully coming back to Sheffield to work closely with new and emerging talent. I was asked to talk to you guys a little bit today about what to do when you finish that script. And first off, can I say congratulations, that's amazing. Never take for granted that achievement, because lots of people never even get that far. Next, I would say it's very obvious, but share your script with as many people as possible. Fellow writers, friends, enemies, they can be helpful too. Writing can often feel like working in a vacuum, and I think having a group of people you can trust for honest, but more importantly, constructive criticism is really going to aid your work and give you an understanding of kind of how your story's working in the real world. I think once you're confident the script is in the best possible place you can get it to, a quick moment of strategic self-reflection here is helpful. Where are you on your journey as a filmmaker, and how does this script play into that? Is it the first thing you've ever written, or the first thing you want to get produced? Do you want to direct it as well? As a public funder, we're really keen to know how strategically this funding will help you take the next step. And if this is the first thing you've ever done, do consider a sort of DIY approach to getting this film made to help build up your track record and your experience, so that when you come to funders, you have something to show to give a sense of your work. I think once you've had that sort of Zen moment of reflection and you feel you're ready for funding, it's about finding collaborators. So for the BFI Network Short Film Fund, you need a producer attached. If you don't know any producers, do come along to the relevant networking events in your area, watch lots of shorts, look at the teams behind work that you love, and then reach out and ask for a coffee and a chat and see if your values align, if there's good chemistry and you feel you could work together and really commit to getting this project over the line. And when you have that producer in place, they can pull together a budget, and for our fund, that means you're ready to apply. The producer will lead on that, but we do want to see, as part of the application, a director's statement and a creative vision, as well as a real consideration for the BFI diversity standards, and how green you can make this shoot. I think that's important to mention as well, as kind of sustainability on set and in the film industry needs to change, and we can do that from here on in. One thing I would say is don't write what you think we want to hear. We're investing as you as filmmakers and people, and really want to get a sense of why you're so committed to this story, why now, and what you're bringing to it. Don't worry about using the correct language or being too formal if that's not who you are. We really want to get a sense of you, and that's what excites me about projects, is kind of what you guys bring to it as well as the story. Once you apply to the BFI Film Fund, the decision can take up to 12 weeks. Ideally, it would get greenlit. We might do some development on the script and you can go off and make the project. I guess the reality is rejection is a huge part of this industry. So keep an eye out on other opportunities like New Creatives or the Pitch Film Fund. BBC Writers' Room is really fantastic at hosting those opportunities. Sometimes it's just about being at the right place at the right time. I think that Shudder Zoom horror host is a really brilliant example of how that was a high concept, low budget thing that just tapped so perfectly into the zeitgeist. The industry is quite a strange place at the minute, but ultimately what has got us through dark times, continuing dark times, is brilliant stories, film and TV. So I think that the desire for that is not going to go away, and commissioners, broadcasters, streamers are always going to be on the hunt for the next brilliant story, the next brilliant filmmaker. So it's just about making sure that you are, your track record or your experience is in the right place, so that when those opportunities come along, you're kind of ready to pounce on it. If anyone is interested in chatting more about what I do, or would like to hear more about BFI Network, please do drop me an email if you're based in the north. My email is amy@filmhubnorth.org.uk. You can find that online too. And if you're outside of the north, one of the relevant hubs do similar activity and have talent executives as well. So do get in touch with them. Sign up to our newsletter on the Film Hub North website. And I would just say thank you to JumpCut for the brilliant work you're doing for independent filmmakers. Congratulations on the new JumpCut baby, a tiny cineast in the making, I'm sure. And yeah, thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing your stories come through.
So, I'm gonna give my advice on how to go from script to screen. Obviously, it is all dependent on what stage you are at as well in your career, but honestly, there's no kind of wrong or right way of taking your script, going from script to screen essentially. The most kind of obvious one is to attach a producer. That's what I'd say if like you are kind of a writer who has writing credit or whatever, you can just like find a producer, attach the screenplay to it, and like go reach out to funding buddies. But if you're a newcomer to like writing and directing, like if you're a writer who wants to also direct, there's so many ways you could go down getting your script made into a film. So like for me, for example, like I was a newcomer like a few years ago, and what I did was I didn't study film in uni, so I kind of reached out to people I knew who were in university studying film and had access to equipment. I reached out to my friends who wanted to be actors, and I just kind of wrote this web series that I knew would be like easy to do, no budget. So that's kind of a good way. That was for me, that was like a good place to start, because it kind of helped me learn the whole process of like filmmaking, like while doing it. Like you're gonna make mistakes. Like I made a ton of mistakes. I can't even look back at my old stuff because it's just no, but like it's still a good place to like start and just learn and all that stuff. So that's kind of one of my advice. And like if you don't have friends that like do filmmaking in uni or have access to equipment, another good way to go down is like go to your local independent cinema, like go to the events that they hold, you know, go network, go meet people, get collaborating, just tell them your idea, just talk to them about the idea. They can give you advice, you know, they might want to be involved. They might be like, oh, okay, this is a sick idea. I would love to help you make this. Let's meet up for coffee, whatever. And then that's like then you can ask someone that you are collaborating with. There's also film festivals as well. Go down to these film festivals because they have like a ton of events as well, like that you can meet other creatives, like writers and directors. And if you're a writer who doesn't necessarily want to direct your film, you can also go to these events as well and meet these people, meet directors that, you know, you like their work, you've seen their work, or you might want to collaborate. Also producers as well, you can look into producers. If you're a writer director, these film festivals have like events, like Estetica, for example, has the meat market, and you can meet producers who, like, maybe you've seen their short films or you've seen their films and you like their work, so you can like talk to them, you can pitch them your idea, talk to them about your film, see if they're into it, and then, you know, start that dialogue. Yeah, so that's like if you're new, like kind of that's a good place to start. Another thing I'd say is like if you've just written the script and you think, oh, this is amazing, what I'd advise is show it to people, like show it to your friends, get them to read it, get them to give you some good feedback on it. Be open-minded about like positive like criticism on your work, because it could help you in the long run. You have to be open to this stuff. Take on their advice, work on it, and then like make the script tight. If you're at a stage where you think, okay, this is amazing, I would then start researching producers that you like their work, and you think, oh, this producer's done a really similar thing. Not necessarily similar, but you like their style of producing or whatever. Research them, get a synopsis out to them, pitch them your idea, just send them some emails and say, this is what I'm working on. Be really passionate when you approach them as well about the work, and like be super amped about it, and they will like get back to you and be like, okay, so I like this, let's do this. Or they'll be like, okay, I can't do this, but I know someone who like would do something like this, and they can put you in touch with them. But like, just don't be shy about it. Just like, you need to approach these people. And as well, if you're a writer and you like a director, reach out to them. You know, just reach out to them and see. Because the worst thing obviously that can happen is they'd be like, no. But then you reach out to a load of people, someone will say yes. Do you know what I mean? And then when you have a producer attached, what you can do then is like, the BFI honestly is amazing, to be honest. Like, they're so good for like developing new talent. So if you're a new writer and you have managed to get a like producer attached to your script, the next thing, even if you don't have a producer attached to your script, you can approach the BFI hubs. Like in like the North is like Film Hub North, for example, which they're amazing. So you can approach them and say, okay, I've got this idea, and then they can kind of help you develop your idea. Like, there's so many different schemes, like there's Script Lab, for example, who like helps you take you from an idea to a script, and then you can then get your film made. So there's so many different avenues that you can go down. Like, the BFI are amazing for helping develop new talent. So like, don't be afraid to reach out to the hubs, you know. And obviously, if you're having a producer as well and you have a finished script, reach out to BFI, looking to getting funding. There's so many different funding avenues as well. Like, yeah, just be brave. Like, it's scary, but just do it. Like, the best way to do it is to do it.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to In the Studio, the final episode, as Jacob said, for this season. And yeah, it's kind of like you said, we're at the end of the writing process, so to speak. But this is one of the most exciting parts of developing your script. This is the point where you can have the option to get it out into the world. Also, apologies for this weird like half lighting. Like, my new flat light has like a light underneath where I'm filming, and it's odd. Anyway, but yeah, this is a really exciting part. Now that you've got your script, you can take it, and you've got many different options to do so. So you may have seen already in the episode that we've mentioned the BFI contests and sharing with your friends. My advice towards this subject, again in very JumpCut fashion, is sharing it with other collaboratives, other creatives, filmmakers, screenwriters. I mean, some people are going to have a preference to the type of people they send it to. You're going to probably want to send it from writer to writer kind of thing, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. I think anybody in the filmmaking kind of industry and that kind of world in your circles is going to have an understanding of story and telling stories in an important way and understanding character beats and whatnot, and you shouldn't feel shy in sending that story across. And sometimes it's not always going to be great feedback, we have discussed in other episodes. It's not. That's just the reality of screenwriting and filmmaking in general. It is an industry based around, unfortunately, a lot of rejection, but it doesn't always have to be that negative. There are going to be times when you will get good feedback, and it's important to be open about this part of the process, because like I said, this is exciting. This is the time where you can take on that do-it-yourself attitude, send your script to other creatives, be like, look, I have a script, it's X amount long, I don't think we need this much money to do it, blah blah blah. It don't matter about the logistics, but the point is you can go out there and make it. I know that's a very cliche thing to say in this industry. You get a lot of people to say, oh, you can just go out and make your movie, do it how you can. And it's not that easy, and it's not that simple, but the fact is it can be. You can get it to be that simple. It's just about making sure that you maneuver all the different parts of this process in a certain way. I mean, for example, take a look at the story between me and Jacob up until now. Beforehand, before I got involved with the whole JumpCut thing, I was kind of freelancing on my own and doing my own kind of thing, shooting music videos, writing my own scripts that no one ever really saw, but I was still creating, I was doing something. And then, out of the blue, Jacob messaged me like, hey, I'm Jacob, I've got this thing called JumpCut Online. It's this online publication where we talk about films and whatnot, and we also have a filmmaking side of it. And boom, lightning strikes, you get talking, creativity takes place, and now me and Jacob co-own JumpCut together, and it's amazing how you have those little connections that can lead to big things. And I know that's not going to be the same for everybody. It is, with stuff like that, it's all about luck, but you can meet those people that will put you on a different path. And I know this all sounds a bit rambly, but like I say, you can do this. You have many different options, and my advice on this part of the process would be to just follow your instinct, and you can do it just off the skin of your own back. You can do it yourself. But I wish you all the best of luck with the scripts that you're working on at the moment, or the scripts that you may have finished. I love this part of the process because this is where you get to start prep and pre-production, and it's amazing. I love this part of it, and maybe that's a little hint of what we'll talk about in the future and in the studio. But as always, stay safe and enjoy the rest of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you can, we would really appreciate your support on our Patreon, which was recently launched. There's a few different tiers that are offering different rewards in return for your support, including workshops. There's a funding opportunities that we're working on as well. And we'll also be putting you in touch with other creators and collaboratives. We've got a few Patreons at the moment, and your support is very, very valued. Thank you so much. And off the back of that as well, we have also just launched our Redbubble store for JumpCut. So you've got merch for all the different brands: JumpCut, JumpCast, JumpCut Online, JumpCut Play, and of course Studios. All sorts of weird and wonderful designs that you can get. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you again soon.
So I hope this episode helped you if you've just finished your first ever script, or you've just finished your 15th scripts, or whatever it may be. Hopefully this advice helps. You've got some options there to go for, lots of different avenues you can pursue with your finished screenplay, and I wish you all the best of luck with it, whatever you choose to do with it. As I say, we're always open for submissions. Send us an email to filmsbyjumpcut@gmail.com. One of us will read it at some point and feed back to you and speak to you about that, and hopefully something can happen. You never know. But in the meantime, please continue to support us on Twitter. Like, share and subscribe this video, and of course check out our Patreon page where you can become a patron, support us and help us to support other creatives in the industry as well. Thank you all for watching season 2 of In the Studio, and we'll catch you in a few weeks for more videos.